Hey there. Have you ever gone to your local guitar store and just for fun decided to pick the most expensive guitar they had and found that it kind of sounded terrible? I don't know about you, but I notice this the most in the acoustic section. Sometimes I'll pick up an expensive guitar, play it, and think it sounds okay, but then I'll pick a cheap one and be like, what? This sounds like way better or about the same. And I want to figure out why that is. So I figured the best way to get to the bottom of this predicament is to test some guitars. I tested and recorded 3 different guitars from 3 different price ranges to compare how they sound. I used 2 SM57s, put them in stereo. I'll let you compare first and then I'll give you some of my thoughts. Okay, so after having spent some time playing all three guitars, I think they're all great. If I had a nitpick, I think the Yamaha sounds kind of boomy, and there are built-in electronics, but they're not very fancy. You just plug it in. There's no volume, no tone, nothing. You can't do anything to it. You can't mute it if you need to. You're just that's it. But for the sound, and I think it only goes for $300. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I did have to do a little bit of a setup on it though. I'm borrowing it from a friend, and while I was doing that and changing strings and all that for the video, I had to replace the nut, and I did do some fret work and stuff like that. But I mean, really, it's a great guitar, and I think you could probably find something similar, in that price range. But you gotta look. So for the Mitchell, I honestly kind of think the Yamaha beats it out. Uh, it plays really great still, and it looks super cool. And the electronics are a lot more advanced. They have a tuner and all that stuff built in. And it's the one I own, so I'm not gonna bag on it too much, but I do think that it probably sounds the worst out of the three. Um, but what are you gonna do? The Martin, on the other hand, it sounded really great, but I honestly think that the high ends were harsh, and it was not as easy listening. I do think that that can work to its benefit, as it will fill up that high end in your mix if you've got multiple instruments like electric guitars and bass and stuff like that, and you want that acoustic sparkle. That is amazing. It should sit pretty well. It's built really well too. Oh my gosh, it plays like a dream. It's so nice. If you actually want to buy this specific Martin, I'll leave a link in the description for a reverb page if you want to shoot an offer. That one I'm trying to sell for a friend. All in all, though, I really think you could probably make all the guitars sound about the same with a bit of EQing, and it really depends on your own personal preference. Um, which I'd love to hear in the comments. Please let me know. I'd love to hear what people think about all this. But really, what matters is if you think the guitar sings and you like to play it, that means you're more likely to pick it up and just have fun with music. And that's what really matters. I think if you want to spend the money to have a really well built guitar and stuff like that, great, more power to you. But if you don't have that kind of money, you could still find something pretty good like that Yamaha. Hey, if you made it this far, that probably means you find this kind of stuff interesting. So maybe consider subscribing. I hope to do this similar stuff like this in the future, or maybe build another guitar like this one here, or this bass back here. And if you're into that kind of stuff, subscribe, and maybe I'll see you around.